So, good morning, everybody. It's Andrew Jenkins here, and this is a warm welcome to Leaders Live. It's showtime, folks. And this is a short countdown time until the various feeds catch up and settle down, folks, as we're trying to find whether LinkedIn has found the feed yet for us. And we can't wait for today's groovy show. And we're hanging out with the ever so inspiring Jack Wright, Sales Director of YourDMS. And our theme is Document Management 101, going from zero to hero for business growth. Fantastic. Give us a wave, a quick hello, Jack.
Morning.
Morning. Brilliant. And Mrs. Moderator herself is in the room. And hello, Sarah. How you doing?
Good morning. Good morning. Just getting the feed sorted.
Yeah, we're just waiting for the feed to come in, aren't we? So, and I think this is it now. I think we've got it here. Here it is. Brilliant. I think that's the one. Great. And we've got Tilly's gang from Marketing CX in the background, just in case Mrs. Moderator can't get the comments going her end. She's had a few technical problems with LinkedIn. So, yeah, we've got all that lot coming. And so with Jack, me, Sarah, Ghost, our sponsors, and Marketing CX, that's today's team, folks. And yes, the feed is coming through. We love it when the feed comes through. Wow. So people are joining up quickly, so that's great. And yeah. And here's our sponsor video. Brilliant. So, oi, oi, people, and hi, gang. It's Leaders Live showtime, folks. And it's just after 8:45 a.m. here in the UK. And we are live with Leaders Live. Spreading the love, folks. Spreading the love. Yabba dabba do. And yeah, we can't wait. And hope you've enjoyed that groovy opener intro as well, gang. And we're delighted that we're being powered this morning by our sponsors, brand and design agency Ghost. And yeah, so, oh, and please let us know if our audio is coming through okay too. And it looks like Tilly's posting some comments for us. Ah, brilliant. So there we go. And if you're new to Leaders Live, a warm welcome to you. So Leaders Live is a dynamic weekly talk show that generates business through networking, through community and extraordinary conversations that inspire. And as I mentioned in the countdown, I'm Andrew Jenkins, and I host this interactive weekly Leaders Live show that's building an awesome community of like-minded leaders. So please don't be shy. We'd love you to introduce yourself and join in, interact with the comments and chat and ask us questions too as we go along. We've got 3 simple rules. A safe community, mutual respect, no selling in the room, please. And our motto is I to the power of we. And a really easy way that you can show your support for this free show and the time and effort that we put in to produce it, boy, there's a lot of time and effort that goes into this free show, is that you can buymeacoffee.com/leaderslive. And yeah, you get, and if you buy 5, you get a free half-an-hour coaching session, folks. How good is that? And it kind of looks like this when you buy a coffee. I'll just do a quick test for you. And you get your name coming up like this. And there it is. That's what it looks like. So it's just a bit of fun, keeps the show going. And we love the support that we get from you. And smash those likes too, folks. We'd really appreciate that. That keeps us motivated too. And now this talk show enables you to listen to great content, but there's so much more value when you subscribe to our email list as well, folks. So there we go. And because you get leadership skills, you get teaching, you get value, you get, it equips you to lead well, and you get freebies and updates as well. What's not to like about that? And to make it really simple, we've got a single link tree link, trying to say that very quickly, that you can use to connect and to all of our channels, including our subscription. So, yep, please do that. That will be great. And let's bring in our Leaders Live Hangout guest this morning. Good morning, Jack Wright. How you doing, mate?
Yeah, good. I was just thinking when I was in that circle, I mean, the hardest thing probably to do is trying to stay in the center of it.
It's like the golden shot, isn't it? You've got
I don't know what I'm doing, to be fair, but yeah, hopefully it gets down from here. But yeah, morning. How are you anyway? You all right?
I'm doing very well, thank you. And our theme this morning is Document Management 101 and going from zero to hero for business growth. So kick us off, Jack. Give us a little bit of a forward direction. Where are we traveling to today? Give us a quick heading. Where are we going?
Yeah, so our business for 15 years has been document management. Document management systems, but document management, and that can be physical pieces of paper, or it could be systems now, right? So systems, so your computer. And it's about the management of every single document that comes into your business or gets generated inside your business, and also thinking about the regulations that certain industries may have to adhere to, basically. So hopefully we'll take you on a bit of a journey, one about us, and going forward with the document management.
Brilliant. Yeah, thank you. We're looking forward to that and how it can benefit our businesses too, folks, which is why we're all listening. And so we can all get some business knowledge as well and really understand what this is about and how it benefits us in lots of different ways. And I think we usually do an audience question about now. And this time we're doing something different. We're going to do a little quiz. So we've never done one of these before. So have you got the first question for the quiz, Jack?
I have. So this is based on the research we've done for government and public sector.
Okay.
How much does it cost to reproduce a loss of document? So
okay.
Loss of document, how much does it cost a business?
Okay. How much does it cost a business if you lose a document?
Multiple choice. So you've got approximately £35, approximately £70, or approximately £180.
There we go, folks. The question is in the feed. So there we go. And yeah, so brilliant. Thank you. Interesting question. Ooh. And that's in the feed, as I said. Now, let's just quickly pop over and say a quick hello to our moderator before we get going in all seriousness. How are you doing, Mrs. Moderator?
Good morning. Yeah, doing well. Thank you. Really interested to find out this morning how we're going to change all those bits of papers floating around that, yeah. You can never find the one that you really need.
Yeah. Anything going on in the feed at the moment?
I'm going to say a good morning to Elaine Saggers. She saw you in Leeds in 2018.
Wow. Hi, Elaine.
A Coaching Academy Foundation course. She is loving the weekly vids. So nice to have you on board, Elaine.
Brilliant. Thanks, Elaine. Made my day, that.
All the usual troops. Good morning to Kieran, to Tilly, to David. Yeah, come on. Everybody's been a bit shy this morning. They're not saying very much.
Not saying very much. Okay,
yeah.
dokie. Yep.
And
okay.
Good morning, Maria. We'll catch up with you later because she's out.
Yeah, you can catch us on replay. We'll send you the link. No problem at all. Lovely. Thank you, Sarah. Right, let's get back to the where are we? That's the one I wanted. And yeah, so back to you, Jack. And just before we begin, let's just give you a quick round of applause. Hey, feel the love, Jack. Feel the love. Hope you love the groovy build-up. We love that scene. And yeah, while we wait for the comments to catch up, I've got a question for you, Jack. So yeah, before we get all into that DM stuff, Jack, I know you to be, a really passionate and inspiring person. Give us a sense of that part of you, Jack, and tell us a bit of a story, your recent story, what's been going on for you, and what brought you to be the sales director of YourDMS. So over to you, Jack.
Yeah, so originally my background is in sports coaching, so football coaching is where I started, and I just have a passion for helping people, young people, any ages really, to succeed. I got that through football coaching and seeing the progression of someone that couldn't kick necessarily a football to performing in a team. Yeah. It went up then to join about 7 years ago. I joined my family business, YourDMS, which my dad started 15 years ago. Wow. So we've got my mum in the business. We've got my cousin Sadie who does all the marketing that you'll see. Yeah. So it's a very tightly run ship in the sense of family run, which allows us to do things slightly different in the way we can support our customers. But from my perspective, I love to help and as I said, see people succeed. And I suppose where it's kind of, and I still do my football coaching, so I still do my football coaching over a weekend in my part time. But it still allows me to take what I've learned in the sense of that analogy of kicking a football, learning how to kick a football, to helping people going on your journey within business almost, and different ways of thinking, etc. So yeah, that's kind of where I've been. Yeah.
So that sort of coaching style, encouragement piece is part of who you are, and that's what you bring to YourDMS. Fantastic. Definitely. Yeah, and it's great to hear that it's a family business as well. So Yeah, that's and it's been going strong for 15 years. How good is that?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
brilliant.
Definitely.
Thank you. Brilliant. And while we're just on the questionnaires as well, let's just grab our second audience question to keep the audience going, and then we'll come to a couple of these questions as we're going along. So the second part of our quiz, folks, over to you, Jack. What's the second question for our quiz on document
So
management?
the second question is, how long on average does it take to someone to find a paper file? So is it 5 minutes, 18 minutes, or 60 minutes? So just on average.
Okie dokie. So there we go. That question will be in the feed shortly. And there it is. Sarah's posted it in. Fantastic. Brilliant. Okay. Now then, while we're waiting for the feed to catch up, we'll come back to Mrs. Moderator in a moment and catch both of those questions a little bit later on. Talking about document management, Jack, what makes it your why, Jack? And, what difference do you bring to the kind of document management party, Jack?
Yeah, so every business we talk to, and that could be accountants, it could be retail, it could be construction. Everyone deals with an element of paper, but not to mention paper, because paper's 15 years ago, paper was a thing, right?
Yeah.
So everyone had paper. Everyone
paper
had
was a thing.
They were kind of everyone had a paper filing cabinet in their office and things like that. Times have definitely moved on, and as we all know, technology has definitely moved on. So everybody now has a computer. Everyone now has a ways and means to store a document or piece of information electronically. So then it moves on. So document management has moved on over the 15 years from a physical piece of paper, and it is still around now, still relevant, but more to the point, as the journey goes on, we've got businesses that have either got a hybrid effect, so they've got some in paper, some in on their computer, but mainly they've got a management of documents where they could be on individuals' computers, they could be on a server somewhere, they could be here, there, and everywhere.
Yeah.
Not to mention there could be 5 copies of one document. So which one's the original? So we take our customers on a journey, and as I said, it depends on legislations, because we really need to understand what is needed from a legal perspective. That's first and foremost. So you don't get fined, you don't get everything like that. And then once that stuff, I say out the way, I don't mean it quite like that, but once that stuff is out the way, I look at the people element. So everyone walks into an office, and some days you just feel like you don't want to work or whatever, or something's going to go wrong because let's say you're not going to find that document, or you're not going to find that information when a customer comes calling. So when a customer's online, they want a piece of information, you can't find it. It's a classic example. You blame the system, or you blame someone else, or whatever, and it's true, right? So you're trying to find that piece of information to make your life easier. That's where YourDMS comes in, to take that piece away almost. Everything's in one place. Everything's kind of managed. And again, it's with my passion as well, with the mental health side of things. I believe you sit down at you're more in work than you are not. That's a fact, right?
Yeah.
If you're full-time, if you're full-time, you're more at work than you are at home. So therefore, work should be a place where you should come and enjoy. Yes.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Not everyone can say that. Not everyone can say that, but little things that I think a business could do, or little things that someone can do to help the smallest of things. As I said, the smallest of things being finding a document.
Find that document.
It just sounds crazy that could be the biggest thing on someone's radar every day, when it should actually be the smallest thing. That should be the most simplest thing. So that's kind of where we take the mindset of our customers and the people we talk to go, well, come on, this is really, really small with what a human can do, to then what a computer just really helps you with the systems.
Yeah, so having a good system equals less stress, because you can find stuff quickly, right?
Well, not just a system as well, it's a process.
A process, right? Okay.
It's a process. So yes, we talk about document management systems, but you're talking about a document management process more than anything else,
Okay.
Because as I said, you could be and exactly what we've got on here, right? So
this screen here shows the process, does it?
It's a process. Everyone has a process to manage. In this case, it's the delivery note. So you'll have a delivery that comes through a door. full of goods. You'll check from that physical piece of paper from the driver, and then you'll have a look that you've received all the goods that you've paid for.
Okay.
Everything all right in an ideal world, bang, the goods get put on the shelf or wherever it's going to go, and that piece of paper either can get scanned, or sometimes people just put it in a filing cabinet, physical filing cabinet.
Okie dokie.
Right. So it's now that, so that is a process. That is a document management process.
Okay.
Right. Now that's all fine. There's nothing wrong with that until you get so many delivery notes where you're paying for storage, physical storage, like a building as an example, like a shipping container as an example, whereby that's overhead costs now that you're incurring every month to store these delivery notes.
Okay, to storing stuff. I got you.
Yeah. So then we say, well, that's fine. What you're doing is absolutely fine. Store it on a computer, or store it in a document management system so you can find it in seconds. Instead of days.
Instead of days, yeah. And we've got this other. What's going on in this one? Here's another example.
So yeah. So again, this is more of a sort of a finance function, if you like. So if you take finance as an example, a PO gets raised. Yeah. To a business, they then raise an invoice back for that purchase order, and then it comes into accounts. Now accounts have a couple of things, right? Some businesses send, not so often now, but some businesses and I have seen it, but some businesses send an invoice via post and via email. Yeah. Two forms of the same document.
Yeah, one of my clients insists on invoices being sent rather than emailed. Quite interesting. Yeah. So I'm surprised at.
Yeah, exactly. So if in that case, right? So you could have the email, the post coming in. Yeah. But if you didn't receive it or whatever that may be, you could call that business and then they send it electronically. Now suddenly you've got two. Yeah. Which you could end up paying twice if two different people are dealing with the same invoice.
Or there's a second version of the first invoice or whatever with an amendment on it. Okay.
Exactly that. So here we've got an invoice processing, again, process or workflow or whatever you want to call it, whereby we take away all of that by multi-channel input, which is a scanner or an email, right? So that's your two main points of call, or you can download it from a portal, wherever you get your invoices from. But even just that, how you receive it, have you got an account in your business, or do you have invoices going to loads of different places? Because if they're going to loads of different places, there's a thought process there. It needs to be channeled into one area, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. Different parts of the business were raising different invoices, etc. Yeah, okay. Exactly. And how do you control that cash?
Exactly. So element of control. So that's the step one. That's not even the clever part. That's not even talking AI systems or anything like that. That's just the thought process of going, how about we just put it all into one area? Yeah. So that there's the step one. And then you get into the clever part where a system can look to, and again, I'm talking system like, this is what we provide, is it puts it into an area before it goes into a finance system. Because once it's in the finance system, you could have wrong data. You'd have to raise credit notes, all things like that, right? So within this recognition, validation, and rules checking stage, which you see there, it's looking for duplicates. It's looking for fraud, basically fraud prevention. Okay. Are you trading with the supplier? Yeah. So you can see the severity of, if this document went through and you paid it, you'll be subjected to all of these types of things.
I'm with you. Okay. So there's a validation process going on there then, isn't there?
Net, back and gross, nominal codes, making sure you're not overpaying for anything and people being charged. Then what it will do is it will learn that behavior. So bearing in mind the pros and cons, right? So a system will work 365 days of the year, 24/7, right? Yeah. That's what a system will do. A human being will not do that. They'll try, but we can't do that. A system can be programmed. A human being isn't programmed. We're here to think outside the box. That's what we do.
So it saves us time in the end, doesn't it?
So the match made in heaven with the two combined. We deal with the problems. The software or computer deals with everything that's straight down the line, right? So it goes straight down, and
deals with all the process stuff, makes it easier for us then to get on with other stuff, I guess.
Absolutely,
Right.
absolutely.
Got
And
it.
then, like I said, you've got then the at the very end, you can then get it exported, the document itself. I'm using technical words here, but I'm sure people will understand the difference really. So the journey of the document goes through, and it can be the time taken to file a document, the time taken to input that data into, so the supplier name, the invoice number, the date into the finance system can all be taken away by a data upload, if you like,
Okay.
which again we do.
Brilliant. Brilliant. Okay, we'll give you a quick break there. Thank you for that explanation. Nicely put as well, and puts it in very simple language for us. Let's just bring in Mrs. Moderator for a moment. How you doing, Sarah? What's going on?
Yeah, good. Chat's a bit quiet.
Yeah, yeah. Come on, guys.
Yeah, the general feeling tends to be, this is a little bit like multiple choice, isn't it? If in doubt, say B.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that.
It tends to be around about sort of £70 to £100 is the general thought process for how much it costs to reproduce a lost document. So yeah, are you going to enlighten us? How much does it actually cost, Jack?
So £180
Ah, so it's actually C then.
Yeah, so it's C. So this is based on time taken to recreate a document compared to the hourly wage of a person involved, right? So it's that lost document, then someone's got to go and recreate it, because it's like that physical and non-physical, right? No one quantifies someone's time with wages, essentially. Everyone goes, well, I pay them. You do. You're absolutely right, but you're not paying them to recreating problems, or sorry, not recreating problems. What's the words? Undoing the problem, basically. So undoing the failures, right? So you're not. They're not paid to do that, essentially.
Yeah. So in other words, there's loads of lost time in inefficiencies of trying to find stuff, scrabbling about, and putting stuff together again. And again, that causes a lot of stress as well, where actually if you've got a system that does all of that lot, it saves you a heck of a lot of stress. You can put your finger on the button, there it is, bang, and workflow is efficient, right? And then
if you've got and exactly that, and if you've got forward thinkers in the business, which everyone wants to employ, right? Where everyone wants forward thinkers and not necessarily people that just sit there and come in and do their 9 to 5, and as I call quiet quitters.
They're quiet quitters.
Because they come in and do their job.
Yeah.
And that's what they do. They just do their job. What you actually want is someone to go, no, let's do something else, or that type of thing.
Let's utilize your skills in better ways rather than just hunting around for stuff. Right. Okay. Definitely. I'm with you. Sarah, anything else that we need to pick up?
Yeah, we're having a bit of a laugh about paper files and how long it takes to file them. And it depends how long ago it was filed. Depends what your filing system's like. But yeah, to take those sort of the physical filing away, just as Kieran says, it frees up entire teams, senior leadership as well as the coalface. I think for me, the thing that resonated on your flow was the anti-fraud bit, which is probably something that people don't necessarily think about. Nope. But how often, I mean, a lot of businesses now are better. If you change your bank details, they do actually insist on having proof. But that's fairly new, really. And as you say, the invoice fraud, the potential for that, particularly if you're working in a big company, is huge.
Yeah, and hence setting up suppliers and things like that, which is all part of the document management process again, isn't it? I guess.
Well, no, 100%. Document and data management. That's exactly it. And it's forget the systems. It's just having those internal controls in place and making sure that it's a grand old scenario, right? If it's never happened in the past, then you're not going to necessarily pick it up. It's only when a problem's going to happen, when a problem occurs, is then we all tend to act on it. Type thing.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah,
but it's massive, and the amount of, and even now, so.
And in big corporates, it gets worse, right? Because it's bigger.
I promised I wasn't going to use this, but with the pandemic, people definitely work from. Well, people now. Hybrid working is a massive thing, right? So you no longer have that person to the left of you without picking up the phone or going on Teams or other chatbots or whatever to say, hey, did you do this? Did you do that? Or whatever it may be. So you have to do a physical action now, whereas before you would just turn around and go, and you heard
Fred.
Hey, so it's even more relevant now.
I get it. And particularly that helps us, benefits us again, because we can have hybrid working and it works, right? Yeah,
absolutely.
Brilliant. Sarah, what else is going on?
Yeah, Rebecca Jenkins, interested to hear a bit more about the best examples of machine learning. So you said
yes, where's that?
It will just on the bottom. When it will kind of once you
it.
start using it, it will then automatically learn those behaviours and learn when to pigeonhole stuff. That's quite interesting as well.
It is because again, right? So technology moves on every day, every second. You know, so the machine learning. So the machine learning is exactly how you would. So the machine learns from the behaviors of the people using it, and that doesn't necessarily mean the person in that business. It's the library across the world essentially. So there's loads of different variations of invoices, loads of different variations of people using it. So they will, and templates of invoices, etc., multiple pages, line items, that type of thing, right? So every time a human makes an adjustment of, let's say, an invoice number, as an example, is on the right-hand side, and it doesn't have any, it doesn't have invoice number titled by it, because the system's looking for those keywords off the page, right?
Gotcha.
So it's looking for invoice date. There's the invoice date. It looks up, down, left, right type thing. If they don't have that, which quite often they don't, or sorry, in some cases they don't, then the human can then draw on the page with a mouse, obviously not, and then find the right information.
So fill in the gaps, basically, what's missing, right?
So take the thing that I said at the start with the turn of the mental health element of it. If you had to keep doing that, and this was one of your main suppliers, and you could be receiving thousands of these, if you had to keep making that same adjustment every day, it would become a little bit laborious.
Yeah.
Or you'll just be on autopilot and you wouldn't even really think you're doing it. So the machine learning is there to take that away. So it learns the behaviors of basically what you're doing and everyone else using the system.
Or to throw up an anomaly so it can be pushed back to the person that sent it, right? Yeah. Okay. So that those things can get sorted out quickly. I'm with you. I'm with you. Anything else, Sarah?
No, that's about it, really.
Laurie Hale said this about Six Sigma, which I thought was interesting as well. We call that rework, a personal pet peeve. So actually, if you can get rid of any additional work, I guess, Jack, actually that rework means that goes away and you get an efficient system, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, fantastic. Yeah, okay, thanks, Sarah. Right. Now, we did this poll the other day. Let me just find this poll, and then we've got another audience question as well. So we did this poll the other day for document management. What's the biggest benefit of using document management workflow systems in business? Time saving, better customer experience, environmentally friendly, efficient workflow. And the two big ones were efficient workflow, 61%, time saving, 33%, and a small percentage of people environmentally friendly. Nobody thought about customer experience. What say you, Jack?
Yeah, I think that's interesting. I think you can have a case for all of them, to be fair. I because of I suppose my passion in helping people, I think customer service should be almost one of the top reasons, to be fair. I think what happens, let's say, under the bonnet in a business, I think directly affects or reflects your brand, because you're talking about your brand here. You're talking about the time it takes, as I said before, to find a document or to find a piece of information, or to stick to take notes on certain things, you know. So, I mean, the next question is quite relevant, to be fair. So I won't do any spoilers. But if you think about when someone calls up it could be a problem, it could be from a proposal perspective. So it doesn't always have to be a problem. It could be like from a sales environment, and you haven't taken notes or you haven't taken the right precautions to get back to that person, then your customer service and your brand will decrease from that conversation alone. And if that continues to happen, and you can say it's an element of the people involved, etc., but sometimes you've got really, really, really good businesses and good people in those businesses, but the bottom line, and like I said, under the bonnet, the engine isn't quite working right.
It's not well oiled.
Exactly, because it's either it's either there's systems in there, so you've got proactive people going out and really searching for these systems. So you've got managers, you've got people going, right, we need something, I'm going to engage with someone, a partner of that, and they're going to get a system in, and then they go, oh yeah, but we've got this other system in sales, finance, and we need to see if they can integrate together, but we've already spent this type of money. That type of thing is again a big piece of what we do, in the sense of, okay, what systems do you have? What works well? Don't really harp on the negative. What works really well with these systems and the people? Always comes back to the people, because as I said before, forward thinkers are people, and the people, they think outside the box. A system is programmed.
Yeah,
that's all it is. You can program a system to do exactly what you want, and there's no restrictions really.
And it's not just your customers as well, it's also your suppliers, and honouring the people there.
Absolutely.
And if you've got great systems, then actually people get paid on time. There's fairness in the system. Things get sorted out quickly, where a paper system with invoice trails or whatever, or delivery
100%.
notes, as you said earlier, can get lost and things can go wrong. And then
it was only in the news recently, right, about small businesses not being paid on time by, say, those bigger companies. Now, I'm not here to slag off the bigger companies, but I'm saying, like, the cash flow is so important.
Indeed,
it's so important to get paid within the payment terms. Generally, it's 30 days.
Yeah, so everybody wins, right?
Exactly. Yeah. But a lot of these businesses could pay earlier.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah,
and this is all about then that thought process of looking at, right, how can we really help, like I said, other people succeed? These smaller businesses succeed. And when you're talking about, as I said, a smaller business that's relying necessarily on this a bigger company, and they're not paying for 40 days, well, that's 10 days without that money.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, smoothing out all of those wrinkles that happen that stop people getting paid really helps. And the whole cash flow system for everybody then works really well, right? So definitely. Including suppliers all the way to your customer. I get definitely. It. Okay. Definitely. So move us on with the next audience question before we jump into another question. So we've got this third question on our quiz this morning, folks.
Yeah. So true or false, this one. So a document is an email is a document. So true or false, an email is a document.
True or false, an email is a document, true or false. Okay, we'll come back to that in a moment. And yep, Sarah just bunged the question in. You're doing well this morning, Sarah. Getting the questions in. Yeah, sometimes Sarah can't post, so it's just brilliant that that's all working today. Is it fantastic? So let's talk about some pain point examples. Typically, what do your customers, what kind of things do you solve using document management? Give us a whole bunch of examples so that we can bring this to life a little bit.
So in the sense of, as I said earlier, so you've got, let's say delivery notes. We'll go back to the delivery notes section. So one of our customers were paying, as I said, paying for offsite storage. So they were paying for physical buildings, and they could be half an hour away from their actual offices. So if they did have to recall any pieces of information, then they'd need to drive that far. Or make an excuse to drive that far, because you wouldn't necessarily go all that way for one document. But their biggest thing is they have to keep their from a legislation perspective, they have to keep documentation for 25 years.
Wow.
So if you think about that, sometimes that would most cases that will outlive that legislation. So those documents outlive the people that are putting these systems in, right?
Yeah, right.
So you think, or so not to mention the physical element of it, though, the overheads they're paying, what, 2, 3, 4, 5,000 pounds on offsite storage sometimes a month, and taking hours, if not days, to retrieve that information and that document, bringing that in house. So as I said, the workflow was set, working with the people, and then you've got soon as that document comes in, it gets scanned into a system, and then it gets filed away automatically.
Yeah, and that sounds obvious, doesn't it? But when you think about the other examples that we could apply that to, like audits, for example, like digital everything everywhere, like rental businesses, contract renewals, invoicing, payments, expense systems. Are those the kind of things that you deal with the day in, day out with companies? Try and give some real examples of businesses that use document management for different things, Jack.
Yeah, so exactly. So if you think with expenses, so salespeople, You know, you'll be the same, Andrew. You know, you out on, do you know what I mean? Out in London or anywhere else, you've got receipts coming out your ears. They still exist. You know, even electronic ones you'll get now. You want to claim them back. You need to have somewhere to manage them. I know for one, before we use our expense system that our customers use, I couldn't read my expenses. You know, I couldn't read the receipts because they were in my wallet. They were all getting chewed up, and it was I couldn't claim them back almost.
Yeah.
You know, so it's that important. So it's how we get that into a logical format to get it readable, essentially. So mobile apps, fantastic.
Yeah, things like Xero and stuff that scan
take
that
a picture,
in. Right. Yeah.
You know, take a picture of the receipt, fill in the pieces of information that your businesses require, where you've been, how much it is, etc., and then it makes it easier then for accounts.
Gotcha.
You know? So accounts have a physical piece of paper, and also obviously the managers. So managers will have an element of approval. So you've got suddenly a workflow there. So you're making it easier to access.
Yeah. So that could an example of that, Jack, could be a sales team that are out and about visiting customers, and part of your document management process, I guess the systems you use, one of those would be to use an app to capture, you know, simple expenses and receipts and things. Yeah.
Yeah, so we got a construction business. So they're subcontractors, they're contracts managers, they're all out on site every day.
Yeah.
Their biggest problem was exactly what I just said, in the sense of their receipts.
Yeah.
And again, they were receiving stuff that they ordered online, so they were having a receipt there that they paid out of their own pocket, so they had to get it back. We produced an app for them where they take a picture of them, they upload it to basically an expenses sheet online. They fill out the information and they click submit every month. That then goes to two managers for approval. So they go to a normal a line manager and a director to sign them off, and then it goes to accounts for payment. After the accounts have received it and coded it from an accountancy term, so nominal codes, and make sure all the financial detail is in there, it then gets filed away automatically and uploaded into their ERP system.
Yeah, how good is that? And those are sort of easy things to get lost. And, you know, also just to remember that, you know, receipts also have VAT implications as well. So, you know, having something to capture that means that, you know, you've got a system that then sort of works out the VAT liabilities and stuff like that every week, every moment, every second.
Yeah, and again,
in real time.
The thing before all of that, so, I mean, I was a sucker for it too. I would store 3 months worth of expenses up. Suddenly that could be a lot of money, and
in a cardboard box.
But if the business didn't have cash flow to pay me because I stored the 3 months worth up, and I then suddenly come in with over £1,000 worth of expenses, because some of them are racking up that much. All of a sudden, then your policies are out the window, because you're saying everyone needs to do their expenses by 30th of every month or 28th of every month. And you've got no control. This brings back control in your policies that you set out from day dot, essentially.
I'm with you. Yeah. So, I mean, these are the payment systems. Sort of, it's an obvious solution, isn't it? You know, but actually, you know, there's some ramifications here. You get paid quickly. Expenses can be done just in time. You know, the rules can be set around expenses and, you know, payments and stuff that they have to be done in a timely fashion. And the system works behind the scenes, and no one has to go chasing stuff. And, you know, one of the key things is not to lose those receipts as well. So if you're photographing them, and I know I'm not brilliant at that, but, you know, with an app, then it does make it a no-brainer, doesn't it, just to do that?
Yeah, because you think the relationship building as well. So you've got constantly the accounts are going, well, Jack, you're not giving me your receipts. I'm like, yeah, but I did pay it out of here, and I'm producing this. And so again, it's that wrapping that all up into not having the fight every day or every month. Oh, it's the same person. You kind of get that. Yeah, because it's true, right? You want chemistry across all parties. You want chemistry across all departments. I've heard it before, you know.
I'm just bringing in my finance director here. I've just been watching her tickling with laughter here.
Oh yes. I mean, I'm going to be really, really controversial though, Jack. These systems are fantastic, but they're only as good if the people put the information in the first place. How do you train these people?
I know.
Words fail
Well,
me.
the thing is on that, and that's a very important question, because that is a lot of the reasons why people don't jump to these types of systems, right? Because they truly believe that their staff will not. So it's about getting everybody, and I mean everybody. Say we've got like 50 users on one site or whatever, getting everybody involved and on board with it and comfortable. Whether that means providing them a bit of training literature from on a document itself, or going on a webinar, or having an on-site visit. All three of those will make all of those people feel more comfortable. So it's a very valid question, and yeah, okay, definitely something that everyone needs to consider. But that's how I believe it takes time. But I believe that that's how we do it better.
One of the things that got me about photographing expenses for Sarah was the VAT implications. If we don't do that, it means that VAT can't be claimed and it's missed. And it's like, and that was a penny dropping moment for me. So, but when you scale that,
so obvious.
just to you, isn't it? Yeah. But I guess you scale that up to a bunch of sales reps that are out and about all the time. And it's like herding cats, I guess.
The first thing they always say to me, Jack, is it easy? I'm like, well, I wouldn't be coming here if it's difficult. It's like, that's the first thing. Is it easy? Is it going to take
easy? Yeah.
Yes, it is.
So it's got to be done dead easy. Oh, brilliant. Okay. What's going on in the feed, Sarah? Let's just give Jack a break for a minute.
The true or false is an email, a document. It is a resounding yes.
Yes, true. Everyone said, yeah.
Absolutely. Unfortunately, there are still companies who don't actually believe that, I think.
True.
And that's the difficulty, isn't it? Sometimes I think.
Yep.
And training those processes in too, Sarah, is really important, I guess. So people understand it.
I think sometimes, people are frightened of legislation and thinking, well, if I don't have a physical paper copy, am I going to be caught out somewhere? And it's perhaps not understanding how times have changed.
Indeed. Yeah. And how important these things are. And Laurie Hales just says this, I just caught this comment just coming in. A good change management campaign is key to get these sort of changes sort of understood, Jack, right?
Yeah, it's got to come from the top. Definitely. It's got to come from the top, and everyone's got to be involved with it. As I said, you've got to have someone who's got the cash, to pay for it, to make the decision. Naturally, that's just a process of elimination, but actually I think that the true value of this means everyone in the business is on board and feels a part of it, because I think as a human or humans, I think we if we don't feel a part of something, we're kind of reluctant to use it in a way which just feels like it's been forced.
It's got to be as the people that you talk to, Jack, day in day out. So how simple is it? Because it's got to be easy. Sarah, you were going to make a comment as well. What were you going to say?
I'm just really interested. What size company, or what's the minimum size of a company, Jack, that this would work for?
So we've got so obviously naturally we provide different solutions, if you like. So you've got the document management, where you're just storing a document, to workflows and document management, where you're really working out with multiple people inside organizations. Then you've got the AI and reporting for slightly larger businesses that require that. So the answer to your question, quite simply, is we've got sole traders, and we've got over 3,000 users in the housing association. So
it's for anybody, really.
Anybody.
It is, and the reason why, and as I said, the reason why is because we can come in and evaluate your system. So if you're using, like I said, things like Xero or whatever it may be, we can come in and quickly identify things in that business, almost like a consultancy, to go, have you thought about this and have you thought about that? I've been involved with plenty of networking. I've offered free advice where I go, have you ever thought about this? Have you ever thought about just bringing the scanner to your desk, as an example? I know that sounds really, really stupid, but some things are really, really just, you don't think about it because you're all on autopilot and doing a job that you love and you know. It's those simple tweaks, I'd like to say, but I think from a sweet spot, if you like, to really grow. So it's growing businesses.
I was going to say scale ups, growing business to the next level, right?
Yeah. So people that are managing some more like employees in the business, 5, 6 employees in the business, that people really need to exchange information from, and really grow from there, really. Because I think once, obviously I'm biased, but I think once you have a resounding sort of, like I said, under the bonnet is sweet and it's all fresh, you know, I actually think that the sky's your limit, you know, inside your business.
Yeah, and I think this is where, you know, where the rubber really hits the ground here is when you're growing from a small business and you need processes, and this is one of the first good processes to get in place. I've just noticed this, Sarah, from who's this from? Is this Kieran?
Yeah. This is Kieran. Yeah. I think for me, putting processes in place, even when you're small, a lot of people think, oh, we don't really need that yet. But then you get into bad habits.
Yeah, well said, Sarah.
You know, if you haven't got those good processes and protocols in place, then as you grow and get bigger, the potential for things to go wrong,
mess ups,
you just don't see, because, well, we've always done it this way and it's been fine. But actually, it might be fine when you're 2 people, but when you're 10 people, there's that much scope for it to go wrong.
Yeah. I just picked up Kieran's comment you mentioned here, Sarah. He talks about you need to stack these good habits. We talked about stacking some weeks ago, didn't we? Kieran's really on it there. You know, to stack these good habits.
I'm just waiting for cold showers to be mentioned somewhere in here.
We'll have to find a link somewhere between document management.
There's got to be a link
cold
somewhere.
Showers. Yeah, brilliant.
I'm sure, yeah, definitely is. Yeah,
that was one of our previous sessions, by the way. For those of you that are bemused, how the heck does that? How did we get to that?
You have to listen to it.
So look, let's we're just coming to a point where we need to just shift gears and move towards an end game here. But you've got some next quiz questions here, 4 and 5, Jack. Can we do these together, do you think? Is that
yeah,
okay?
Of course. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So our next part of the quiz, question 4, and then we'll do question 5 at the same time. Go for it, Jack.
So we've got true or false again. So there are some businesses / departments that don't need document management system.
Oh, is that true or is that false? Right.
And then we've got what has a bigger impact on digital transformation or on a digital transformation project. So is it people and culture company culture? Is it implementing the latest technology, or is it access to technical expertise?
And this is a really important question, you know, for change management and things like that. This whole digital transformation piece and digital everything, you know, where is the biggest impact? You know, what's the biggest benefit, I guess? Bang for your buck, I was trying to say. Brilliant. Yeah. Okay, so those 2 questions are in. Thanks, Sarah, for posting those. Right. Okay, dokie. So tell us, Jack, you know, what are your kind of ideal clients, you know, and what benefits do they get from your document management systems as leaders?
So ideal clients are someone that's obviously had a problem.
Yeah.
You know, that's natural, because they obviously recognize and understand that they need help almost. That goes then onto forward thinkers. You must have a mentality, and Sarah switched on it then. It's the way we've always done it. You know, that type of mentality. You kind of why we pride ourselves on trying to get someone around from that, of course. But naturally, if you're stuck in those ways, it's going to be very hard to implement any good habits and change and anything like that within inside your business. Not to mention, we can do the element of selling, of course, but you've got to sell it to your employees, depending on who you are within the business. I mean, we've got businesses that we've gone in, say, manager level or even administrator level, that have sold it to the business themselves, you know, of why they think it's a good idea that this is implemented, time saving. And again, I go back to it. Cost is everything. Don't get me wrong. People have to always worry about the pennies, but don't underestimate how much time it takes for someone to do this mundane task they're doing every day, you know. I mean, we're of our staff, you know, good people are hard to come by.
Yeah.
You know, if you lose a good person, a good employee, due to your lack of forward thinking or your lack of, I suppose, a willingness to change and adopt a different strategy inside your organization with systems and processes, etc., you are going to lose these people. That's just a fact. You know, I've had it in even our own customers that because we've go in at one department, that one department is excelling, and then they try and sell it to another department, but they're not forward thinkers. You know, so there you go. So then they're going, well, we're being frustrated because we have to then print the document off and send it to them when we really have to. You know, so it's then that culture.
So it sounds like it needs to be your ideal client is someone who's willing to do the coordination and the change piece to make this work internally is important, that the key messages from top down and through all departments need to be on board with this philosophy.
Because we've got the sector doesn't matter. Everyone deals with document and data. Everybody.
I'm with it.
It doesn't matter. I don't. I couldn't tell you, I'm after construction or we're after retail. No, I'm just after really good people that are looking to power themselves up. And I believe powering themselves up means good systems in place, working with good partners, technology partners that a family-run business like us or whoever, because there's good businesses out there. There's obviously more than us, but really have that know-how and say it how it is, sometimes
and to really understand what could be the advantages here, and to produce some sort of program themselves internally that make these changes. And it's not just the physical process changes, this is mindset shifts that need to happen here at the top level, is what I'm picking up from you, Jack. And your ideal clients isn't a particular sector, it's having those companies that are entrepreneurial in spirit, that want to grow, want to scale up, and need systems to make that efficient as they're growing, so they can optimize their staff. That's, I think, is that about right, Jack? Is that what I'm picking up?
No, definitely. And I think that just on this as well, as we're obviously wrapping up, is the support element of it. Find a company partner that you're going to be that's going to grow with. By. Yeah. We have customers that are still with us 15 years later, that have grown with us both mentally and with their systems, So I'm getting customers coming to me now with their ideas rather than me going, oh, do you want to know the latest tech type thing? Because they're going, can we do this? And it's that mindset, and it's so pleasing to hear that the answer is, let's have a discussion about it.
Let's have a discussion. Yeah. There's a question in the chat which I'll come back to in a moment through Sarah. But yeah, I mean, I like the idea of the things that you're saying, and the mindset shift. Absolutely important. This is about changing business and transformational business. Transformation in businesses need good processes to get rid of the difficult bits that we all get stuck on and that you've talked about today. And just one thought for me, typically, what kind of return on investment can we get with these kind of systems? How quick can you pay these off? And I know you can do them in stages. So, you can do a stage 1, a stage 2, stage 3. How quick typically do you see that return on investment comes through investing in document management?
To be honest, Andrew, like I said, it depends. If you've got a bigger team, naturally the return on investment will come quicker than if you've got a smaller team. Within the month, quite
within the month.
If you've got, like I said, if you've got the know-how and the system will return on it. You're talking from taking days or hours to find a piece of information or document or whatever to seconds. I mean, you can already see the reality of it, to be fair, just from that. So it is one of those, because it is very much dependent on the size of the business you're in, but
so it's very quick. The return on investment is what I'm hearing. That's amazing. Yeah, brilliant. And Sarah, what's going on in the chat? I'm just where's Sarah?
Just Laurie makes a really good point. She'd really like to know, Jack, is your DMS vendor agnostic, or do you partner with specific system vendors? So I guess, do you use everything and anything, or do you have certain ones that you partner with?
So we do partner. So we've always partnered with the leading softwares out there, which means we have access to development constantly. We can listen to our customers. And really feed that back into the systems, essentially. So we have the ability on site from a development perspective, and our support team to go and do things like integrations, etc. So there's a bit of both on that side. And we have been known to get involved with other systems if our customers see fit and there is value in it for all, So if a customer requires a specific thing that, let's say, that we have expertise in, but we don't necessarily have a system for, we can go and source that and have sourced that quite quickly for them. and help them, because we are the trusted partner, we are the trusted providers that they believe in, and we then go and source 3, 4, 5 other systems. But generally, on the main, we partner with specific system vendors.
But specific systems with that that can give value. Okay.
Absolutely, yeah.
Thanks, Laurie. Great question. Any other things going on the feed, Sarah, quickly?
Kieran just mentions to have a return within a month is fantastic.
It's pretty damn good. Yeah, I was thinking that too.
It's instant, really, but also to see a non-financial return on investment as well, giving the team a system which makes work more enjoyable. Taking out those tedious headaches that you have every day, to remove some of those would be amazing.
Totally. And and you mentioned that earlier, Jack, that this isn't just the financials. This is also, making people's job experience really good, so they can not just do the day-to-day, I find that flipping document again day, but actually can add value, true value to their business as they're growing. And really that's what modern companies are all about, is having extraordinarily good staff that don't have to do the mundane, right? You have a system that does the mundane.
Absolutely. And again, and it's that element of, it's not just about the finding of the document, it's everything else it brings, like you said, with the audits, the staying within the legislations, that it does it all in one hit. The other bit is, no one's really employed just to go and find a document for someone nowadays. We're always forward thinking. Do you know what I mean? It's that we're more to a business than that. We're more to a business to that.
Yeah, thank you, Jack. And just looking at your website here is the YourDMS website that I've just gone on to, which is yourdms.net, I think, isn't it, Jack?
Yep.
Is that? Yep, super. Yep. So you can check them out here. You'll see the links in the feed in a moment, and there's their website here. And in terms of your call to action here, Jack, just go through this call to action here very briefly for us.
Yeah, so obviously we call it a proof of value rather than a free trial, because I think we need to, I don't necessarily like the term free trial, to be honest, but it's a proof of value because, as I said before, we're looking small to medium-sized businesses with a turnover of 1 million, but I'm happy to have any conversation with any person that's looking. I'm happy to give that free advice away. And as I said before on the show, I'm more than happy to, if you want to get in contact with me. But this is from a system perspective, to try it for 30 days, see how you get on and get the best value. And as I said, you'll find it quite quickly. We have a little chat with you before, so you're not just downloading something online and then expecting to go and use it. We actually work with you, and then the relationship starts from there, really.
Okay, so you can fill out this quick form here, this submission form, and put in the Leaders Live 2023, and you get that 30-day free trial, right? And talk to you, Jack. Is that correct?
Yeah, absolutely. And then, like I said, if there's anyone and they don't necessarily fit that criteria that just want to chat, then just please feel free to reach out, LinkedIn or anything like that. I'm more than happy to.
Brilliant.
To have a conversation. Brilliant.
Thank you, Jack. And thanks for enlightening us today with, an extraordinary conversation around document management. Who would have thought? And we loved having you on the show, Jack. It's been brilliant to have you on the show. Jack has been a supporter of Leaders Live since the very beginning, back in May 21. And just brilliant to have you finally on the show. And thanks again, Jack. And please remember to subscribe to our Leaders Live email list to get access to our just to get access to our Lead Well program and lots more benefits too, folks. So it really does help us to grow and evolve, folks. So we really appreciate you subscribing. And the link will be in the Linktree URL that will be posted just in a minute or two. So as I'm talking, hopefully. And before I get on to what's next week, folks, a quick reminder that Leaders Live is a free show for all leaders and directors and managers and entrepreneurs who are interested in business growth, just like Jack has been talking about today. And we provide, infotainment, edutainment that for you guys to enjoy taking part and interacting along with us in these extraordinary conversations which we've had today. And together, the whole point is that we make, in this community, we aim to make the world betterer, folks. I love that expression, betterer. And one of my favorite little expressions. And we want to bring a spirit of freedom, of joy, of fun, and the feel-good factor in all of our working lives. So that's a little bit about us. And just about our sponsors, a quick shout out for our sponsors. Here's a little clip of what they do in terms of just a show reel. Brilliant. So Ghost are a brand and design agency, folks, with an exceptional team of highly skilled and vibrant people, just like Jack's team, actually, that help and develop and shape brands to inspire business just like yours. And they just do it in different ways. That's all. So that's a little shout out for Ghost. And a quick shout out from Sarah about what we do at PDX. So over to you, Sarah, just for a quick second or two.
Just thinking about what Jack's been talking about today, and you've got to get everybody on board if you want to make change. So one of the things that Andrew does is change management. If you're struggling with your team, or you just want a bit of help, or you're just trying to get your head around this stuff, give us a call. We absolutely love to talk. Costs nothing to talk. And with sorry, I'm losing my words this morning.
No problem.
Just thinking about LinkedIn, there's so much great content going on there, but as well as managing documents and processes, it's how do you get out there with LinkedIn? And Marketing CX Tilly Davies is a fantastic person to chat to about this. So yeah, give her a call too.
Brilliant.
Loves to help.
Thank you very much. And we'll put the answers to the two questions we didn't answer in the feed a little bit later on, or just after the show. So that's a little bit about us. So thank you, Sarah. And the goose for next week, very briefly. We've got a great treat next week as well as we've had this week. Next week, 21st of March at 8:45 usual time, UK time, 8:45. We hang out again with the highly knowledgeable and articulate Alec Johnson, ex-architect, ex-engineer, investment expert, content creator, live seller, and recovering perfectionist. I love that. And we're going to talk about all things sales funnels, folks. So we're back to sales next week, and a vital part of today's lead generation to sales processes. So, understanding what they're about, what your customers are thinking and doing at different stages of the purchasing journey. And these insights will allow us to invest in the right marketing activities, etc., etc. So this is it's going to be a really interesting theme next week. And our theme is truths, debunk the myths, and max your ROI over lead generation and sales funnels, folks. So there we go. That's that. So we will we've run out of time, so we're going to say thank you very much, folks. We'll finish with our outro, and we'll see you next week, and we'll wave goodbye to you to our outro. Cheers for now. Bye everybody. Bye. Cheers everybody. Thanks, Jack, for being with us this morning. Absolutely brilliant. Thank you. Cheers for now, everybody. Bye-bye. And there we go.